everybody, crafting journey here, that journey chick on Instagram. You know what this is? This is wishful thinking. Yes. I'm completely ignoring the fact that it's going to be 100 degrees here over the weekend. Yep. I'm looking forward to the winter. And the kittens are, one is over here in the laundry room. Not sure how he got in there, but I'm just going to let him get himself out. Oh, he did. There he is. No, I don't know where Pearl is. So Stitch is right here. Somewhere here. What is he doing? Stitch, what are you doing? He's found something. Stitch. Stitch. What you got? Crazy cat. Oh. My bladder woke me up at 5 o'clock this morning. And I get up and the animals are all up. You know, I go to the bathroom, come out, think, oh, I'm going to go back to bed for, another hour. And they're all sitting in the living room, all three of them, together, looking at me like, hey, good morning. Oh, God. But you know what? It's Friday. The end of the week. Friday dance. Friday dance. Friday dance. Oh, my God. I'm so happy. Let it all out. Come on, stretch, ladies. Come on. Stay in your chair, but stretch. Stretch. It's Friday. Friday. Oh, we're going out for dinner to celebrate Malia's birthday. Yep. What? Get away from my yarn. She's after something over there. Hi, come here. See Mommy. Come here, see Mommy. Like, nope, you don't got nothing I want. Nope. She hasn't discovered, he hasn't discovered that the iPad's up here, because he'd be up here, I'll tell you. He loves this thing, because he likes to play his little game. So, last night I was working on this section right here, the rest of the mouse. And, I had a Zoom last night. Wow. Talk about lively discussions. Man, oh man. Not borderline contentious, but not contentious. Borderline. I mean, we're all friends, but wow. And there's some crazy stuff going on in our lives. Oh my word. Just crazy. So, you know what happens this weekend? The diamond painting marathon, the sparkle-a-thon. Now, I am going I'll be on at 7:30 Eastern time tomorrow. And please remind me that that's 6:30 my time. Holy moly, I don't want to forget. So that's 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern. Yes, I'm up. My charity is St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Yep. Okay, Tia kicks it off at 9 a.m. Just listen to all these creators, though. Tia's Crazy Craft Addictions, Nick and Tina Colors and Crafts, Bebby Diamond Paints, Life with Lindsay, The Crafty Heifer, Lizzie's World of Gems, Crystal's Crafty Creations, Crafting Journey. Ooh, she's good. I've heard she's pretty good. She'll be on at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah. She does this show about crime, about trials. Yeah. You should listen to it once in a while. Crafting with Christy, Shine Like a Diamond, The Uncrafty Crafter, Mystery is Diamonds, Crane's Creations. And then on Sunday, Rivka's Craft Corner, Diamond in the Rough, D-Nick 55. If you have not checked out D-Nick, you have to. This is a man, school teacher, really great guy. He diamond paints, but he also does like Animal Crossing. He does some gaming, YouTubing, but he diamond paints. Yeah, cool. Autistic Perspective, With the Craft Connoisseur, The Diamond Lady, The Principal Painter, Nana of 7 Crafts, Crafts with Crashly, and closing it out Sunday night at 7:30 Eastern is my bestie, Mickey Sunshine Creates. Which reminds me, I will be on her show tonight we're doing the mystery diamond painting. So check that out if you want to see. Why am I closing this up? Check that out if you want to see how the mystery diamond painting is going. Hers is, the one I got her is really cool. And she's very warm as to what it actually is. Yes, she's very warm. Oh, stretch. Where's my masseuse? You don't got one, Rebecca. I know. Damn it. Yeah, today is physical therapy. I canceled it on Wednesday because I had to get this assignment done at work, this project, and I worked so hard on this project, so to have this information ready for leadership, and it was very anticlimactic. You know, I didn't need to put myself through all that angst. I could have just summarized it, and, well, whatever. Anyway, it's over. I did it. And let's see. I did not watch Big Brother yesterday, so I do not know who was evicted. I suspect it might have been Whitney, but I'm not sure. The blonde. This blonde woman is gorgeous. She's like the mother of 2 kids. Gorgeous woman. Oh. Tired. I can't think when I'm tired. Oh, look, I got new earrings. Yes. Yes, new earrings. Don't I look dapper? And I got something else in the mail this week. What else did I get in the mail? Oh, my new shoes came yesterday. I have this pair of shoes that I absolutely love. My physical therapist hates them. He's like, why are you wearing those shoes again? Because I love them. They're just these flats, like ballet slippers type shoes. No support whatsoever. But they're a really good shoe. It's a 9 West shoe. So, but they're wearing out. You know, I've had them for a couple of years now. Probably about 3 years. I found the exact same pair. They're still selling them, 9 West. Got a new pair. Exact same pair. I love them that much. It's very rare that you'll find the same pair of shoes 3 years later. That's how popular this shoe is. It's a nude shoe. It's a nude color. I don't have them on right now. I'll show you another day. You want to see what I'm wearing? Because it's National Wiggle Your Toes Day. But I have shoes on. See? Here we go. Wiggle the toes. Wiggle the toes. Come on, everybody. Wiggle your toes. Do, 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 do. There is no story behind this. Please don't expect some great story about Wiggle Your Toes Day, because I have no idea. Neither does the National Day people. They have no idea where this came from. But your toes will love you if you go get a pedicure, or if you go to the beach and dip them in the ocean, or maybe the pool, if you don't have an ocean near you, or just run your feet through the sand, or just go outside and walk your toes through the grass. Here's my issue. I don't have grass, I have weeds. And, yeah. I go out barefoot every now and then, you know, not a lot. I hear purring. Where's my cat? I must be hearing things. I'm hearing ghosts. Anyway. I hear her. She is somewhere purring. She likes to, I don't know why I keep calling him she. Stitch likes to sleep underneath the dinosaur. Let's see if she's over there. What is that noise? Oh God, I'm hearing things. You're like, Rebecca, you've lost it today. Yeah, I have. Because it's Friday. I need the week to recuperate. Going out to dinner tonight. I'm going to be exhausted. Tomorrow I think I'm just going to sleep all day. All right, so let's finish. Did we finish Wiggle Your Toes today? Oh, get a massage. Wouldn't it be fun to go to one of those places where you put your feet in this thing in the water and they have the little fish that bite your feet, that nibble on your feet and get all the dead skin off? I've heard it feels really creepy, but it does a wonderful job. And then afterwards they kind of massage your feet with lotion and yeah. Now I don't like, personally, pedicures because first of all, they put you in the most ungodly, uncomfortable chair with this massage thing that's like pounding on your back. I always say, no, please don't turn that on. It just drives me crazy, that thing. I'm hearing this weird noise. Anyway, it's the sound of my bed calling me. Rebecca, go back to bed. Oh, just closing my eyes, I want to fall asleep. Anyway, what was I talking about? Feet. Oh, and then none of them speaks English. I mean, they speak English at these massage places, but I'm sure they're talking about my toes. You know, they're like, oh, toes. Yeah, now. Well, hey, Margaret, look at this toe. Yeah, I don't want it. Yeah, it's kind of gross. So I just know they're talking about my toes. Like, these are the weirdest toes you've ever seen. They're not, but I just think they are, So, no, I haven't gone to get a pedicure in a long time. It's just like, I always feel like, gosh, I could just wear closed shoes and spend the money somewhere else on crafting. I'd rather go get some floss or yarn or something, or a diamond painting. I know. My priorities are mixed up, aren't they? I don't do manicures either. I just keep my nails short. It's just easier. This is the nurse in me. I always kept my nails short. Now you will see some nurses with long nails. Most places won't allow it because the germs and stuff get up under those nails, and you're changing dressings, and so I just over the time I was a nurse just kept my nails short. Now when I was a lawyer, I would do my nails. I did. I would go get them done every other week, the gel, with the colors, but it gets expensive. Yeah. Anyway, enough of the wiggle your toes. Just wiggle them and let me know you wiggle them. And all right. Oh my God, you guys are gonna be like, what is wrong with her today? Okay. Judge, jury, and jury. Yesterday, while I was at work, I had a lot of work, but I finished up the trial. Well, not finished, but all the evidence. I finished listening to all the evidence. Defense rested, the prosecution rested, defense rested. The guy didn't testify, but I'm going to go over the rest of the evidence because oh my goodness, I can't talk. This is Friday. Yeah. The last witness was really good. They saved the best for last. Really compelling last witness. So today I will listen to the closing arguments. I'll bring those to you tomorrow, and then I'll put up a poll on the community page for you guys to vote. Guilty, not guilty. I should just put guilty because is there any possibility that this guy didn't do it? Yeah. Okay. I know, innocent until proven guilty. Well, the proof is there, guys. The proof. Okay. The DNA expert. I don't think I covered the DNA expert. This woman was dry as a bone. Beautiful blonde, but she had like, her hair in a bun. And she was like, she kept saying this, you know, like the same thing over and over again, you know. The possibility of the da 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 was 9 ba ba da ba da ba da, you know. I was falling asleep. If I was the jury, I'd be falling asleep because she was on the stand for a couple of hours at least. Oh. So I'm going to give you the skinny on it. Everything that had blood on it, pretty much everything that had blood on it, had Samantha's DNA in it, you know, including okay. His shoes, his socks, his band, everything that he wore that day, everything had her blood on it, or had her DNA on it. Now, interestingly, the fingernail clippings that they got from her did not have his DNA on it. But they asked the medical examiner about that, and he said she had very short nails. So that's not surprising. That happens a lot because, you know, first of all, this guy was fully clothed, you know, so you might not get his DNA on there. Yeah. So there was blood on the steering wheel that was positive for her. The rear driver panel door had her blood on it, her DNA. The envelope with the handwritten list, you know, the list that he made of the stuff that he needed, including the pink duct tape, that envelope had her blood on it, her DNA. The gear shift had her DNA. The rear passenger seat, his Nike flip-flops, the McDonald cap that was in the back of the trunk of the car had her DNA on it. There was some wadded up paper towels where he had tried to clean the blood up, had her DNA on it. Just everything. There was a tan shirt that had her DNA on it. The black hoodie, the black pants, and then this tool. They kept showing this tool. If I can grab a screenshot of this tool, I will show it to you. It's very weird looking. But it, well, I'll talk about it later. But anyway, it had her DNA on it. Both blades. There's two blades to this thing. This thing has two blades. It's like a Swiss Army knife type thing. Nobody really comes up with an official name for this apparatus. You know, I've never seen it before. So, after 2.5 hours of testimony, we find out, yes, her DNA is everywhere in his car. Everywhere on his clothing. Everywhere where he tried to clean it up. Yeah. Then we get the medical examiner, who he said he took 170 pictures, 13 x-rays, because she had over 125, no, he said over 120 stab wounds. And he said at that point I really stopped counting because there was no point. Then she had abrasions, like these linear abrasions, like she had been drugged somewhere, and he could tell that they were post-mortem, which means after she died, someone drug her to her final resting place, or where the body was found. They didn't leave her there. Anyway, she had a lot of, he goes from top to bottom describing the wounds. We don't get to see any of the pictures. The pictures were shown to the jury, of course, but she had multiple stab wounds to her head that penetrated the brain. Chest went into the lungs, arms, one that went all the way through her hand, you know, in one, like a defensive, like she may have done this and it went all the way through, came out the other side. Just lots of wounds. He said a lot of them were superficial, and and they were so close together, these stabs, that his opinion was that it was a rapid stabbing. It was somebody who was doing this very rapidly. Then he pointed out that there was this interesting parallelness to the wounds. Like everywhere where there was a wound, there was like this double line, like these parallel lines. Then when you saw the tool, you saw why the parallel lines is because this tool has these two knives, and if you're holding the tool, you've got these two knives. One is serrated, one is not. And if you're stabbing with that, you're going to get the two parallel lines. And then in some places she just had one line, which means he may have opened up the tool, and that, you know, which would then have a blade on one end and a blade on the other. Anyway, but so he absolutely felt that the body was moved after her death, that the wounds were all inflicted prior to her death, you know, because she hemorrhaged from the wounds. He didn't comment on the amount of blood loss, which I thought was interesting. There was a lot of insect activity on her body. He says you'll get that even if the body is there for a few minutes, you know, where she was, because the flies are there and they're laying eggs, and yeah, it was gross, this testimony. Okay, that's the medical examiner. Cause of death, stab wounds. Yep. Then the last witness, so interesting. Okay, this was a guy who specializes in body cam video. He says he's a body cam and video analyst. I've never heard of this. Super interesting. So earlier in the trial, we heard from a gentleman who testified that he works for the state, and the state has all these cameras everywhere, just in different places. And we saw that during the Chauvin trial, where the city had cameras everywhere. So the state of South Carolina has these cameras everywhere. So what this guy did was all of this surveillance footage between certain times that night, the night of the 28th, like between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m., was given to him. All the footage from all the local businesses that had footage. He collected all this footage. And then it must have taken him weeks to do all this. I mean, weeks and months, I would say. But he analyzed all of it, and what he does is he found the defendant's vehicle, and he tracked it through all of this surveillance. So he doesn't put it together in one video, but he gives you the clip. So here's the clip, and first he'll show a map. You get to see this map, and he'll show you where the surveillance camera is on the map. And then he'll show you the 10 seconds of video where you see this guy's car. But then he always uses references, like, okay, you see here he's following a silver SUV, just for example. So then he goes to the next clip, which could be a different camera, and he'll show it. Okay, you know, here's where he was at 1:18, at 1:19. He's on this camera. See, you can tell that this is him because there's that silver SUV. So this goes on in time. So bottom line is, we see him. He's the vehicle, because you can't see inside this vehicle. You can't see who's driving this car. We never see who's driving this car. It's too dark. But you see him going down to this 5 Points area where all these college students are hanging out, and he's, you know, making U-turns, and he's going up and down the streets for quite some time. The footage starts at 1:48. And you see him just driving all over the place. And then he finally shows the bird dog video, which is the bar that she had been in. And the bird dog video together, there was that camera and then the camera on the bar next door. So you had these two cameras. So you had this view and this view. And so he kept going back and forth, so you could see Samantha. She's standing there. She's on her phone, and she's waiting for her ride, her Uber ride. And then you see the vehicle, his vehicle, pull into this parking lot next to these bars, it backs into a parking space, and then stays there for a couple of seconds, 30 seconds or so, and then he comes out of the parking space. Meanwhile, you see these other cars. Another car pulls by slowly. Samantha thinks that's her Uber ride, and she goes up and starts to get into the car, and the car pulls away. So she was not paying any attention to where she was going that night. I don't know if she'd had too much to drink. She was just going to get in a car. Anyway, that car pulls away before she has a chance to get to the back door, but she was going to get in that car. So then there's another vehicle that goes by, and then you see the defendant's vehicle, and he even, as he's making that turn to where she is, you see his car like jump the curb. He's so anxious to get to her. So he jumps the curb, pulls around, pulls into the handicapped parking space that's empty next to her. She gets in. And I don't know if she was still on her phone, I don't remember, but here's some, I pulled some screenshots from it, because it's really creepy, of her getting into this vehicle. And you can't even really see the driver's side of the vehicle in this footage, but you see her getting into the vehicle. Then the vehicle drives off. Then the surveillance footage continues, and you see him heading slowly out of, towards where they finally ended up. She's abducted at 2:08, approximately 2:08 a.m. And then you see the surveillance continues, and he finally loses him about 3 o'clock. He loses him, and by then he's quite a ways away. But really compelling. Now, the defense got up on cross-examination and said, "Did you see my client in any of that footage?" No, he didn't. None of us did. But then he didn't take the stand, and there's no evidence that anybody else was in that vehicle. We never heard any evidence that he loaned his car to somebody. No evidence. The only thing we heard was from one of his old girlfriends that said nobody else drove that car. Maybe a cousin once in a while. And then we have all that evidence the next day where he's, that same morning where he's going to the ATM, using her card, attempting to use her card. He's trying to sell her cell phone. He's cleaning up all the blood out of his vehicle. It's all over him. It's all over the vehicle. Yeah. Anyway, so that is the end of the case. Tomorrow I will bring you the closing arguments, and I figured out what that noise was. It's the garbage man. It's the garbage man. This has been a very interesting case. So never forget #What'sMyName. If you ever take a rideshare, Uber, Lyft, whatever, make sure that the driver knows your name. What's my name? Before you get in that vehicle. Don't just get in. Oh my God. So, so I'll listen to closings. I'll bring you that tomorrow on the Saturday edition of Crafting and Crime. And then I'll put up on the community post a poll. If you think he's innocent, let me know. And I would like to know your thoughts on that. Or is it a mistrial? Is the jury not going to agree on this? I I don't know. And I didn't do any diamond painting during any of that. I have my dental tool. I think I need to put more wax in it, though. Yeah, I think it needs more wax. Oh, guys, it's Friday. Friday. So I found a really interesting this day in history. This day, August 6th, 1930, August 6th, 1930, this New York Supreme Court Justice goes missing. His name was Joseph Crater, and there was a lot of fodder about this afterwards, like, you know, pulling a crater, like going missing. He, you know, he was an Irish, born from some Irish immigrants. He went to law school, clerked, worked his way up, went to Columbia University, you know, got in, you know, he was schmoozing with politicians and crime bosses, and, you know, so he got a position on the Supreme Court. He was appointed by Roosevelt in 1930, but over this, there was this corrupt political machine called the Tammany Hall, and they had a candidate that they wanted to put on the Supreme Court. Well, you know, there was Crater, and there was this corrupt crime mob candidate, and Roosevelt chose Crater. So I don't know, he may have not been in a very good position. So a few months later, on August 3rd, he leaves they had gone on a trip to Maine. He leaves his wife there. He says, you know, stay here, I'm going back to New York for business. I'll come back in a week. He goes to New York, you know, he goes to his apartment in New York. He arranges to have $5,000 withdrawn from his bank account. He goes into his business office. He destroys some paperwork. He takes some other paperwork home. He lived on Fifth Avenue. And $5,000 in 1930, that's a lot of money. And then he buys a ticket to go to this Broadway comedy, Dancing Partners. And he has dinner with another attorney and a showgirl. And after dinner, he's seen walking away. And he gets into a cab, and he's never seen again. Never. They investigated, they put out a reward. Here's a picture of the flyer that was sent out about his disappearance. And, you know, even today, 80 years later, there are people trying to solve this crime. There's a book about it. There's, you know, multiple YouTube shows. If you look up his name on YouTube, you can find all these, you know, brief 30-minute shows about what happened to Joseph Crater. A lot of the landmarks that were there in 1930 that would account, you know, that were part of this case are no longer there. You know, hotels, the restaurant is now a hotel or something. And then in 2005, the New York police said they had a new lead. This woman who died had left a handwritten note that said that Joseph Crater was killed by a group of men, including one police officer, and that he was buried. They murdered him and buried his body beneath a section of the Coney Island boardwalk. Well, that section was torn up in the 1950s to build this aquarium, and at the time they didn't have the ability to check or, you know, analyze for dead bodies in what they were digging up, so they just dug things up. So if his body was there, we don't know it. Anyway, or he may have just taken off. Who knows? Anyway, that is the show for today. Guys, have a great weekend. I will see you tonight in Mickey Sunshine Creates Live. That is 7 Central, 8 Eastern. There's my doggy. I think he woke up my sister. Oh well. I love you all. I'll see you tonight or tomorrow in the Saturday edition of Crafting and Crime.